Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thanks for joining me. We are going to explore together July the 19th through the 26th. Cross your fingers that all my critters are going to comply with quiet. I've asked for quiet. So we'll see what happens here. We still have that Cancer energy in the sun sign, but on the 23rd of this week, that's going to change to Leo. It's always a little difficult when we change from a water sign to a fire sign. So be prepared for maybe a little bit of fire agitation, a little bit of irritation. And you know this heat that we're going through doesn't help. I notice the chickens have a little shorter temper with each other. The geese are pissy with the turkey, and the turkey's not happy with the chicks, and blah, blah, blah. So everybody's got a little shorter fuse, and that's to be expected when we go into a fire sign. And then Mercury, the planet of the mind and how we think and how we communicate, that is still going retrograde, and that is in Cancer. That is going to as well change on the 23rd to direct. There's always a little bit of a bobble there, so be prepared as we're thinking backwards, and then the energy stops, goes stationary, and then moves forward. Think of a logging truck and the brakes squealing. That's maybe how your nerves are going to feel like going up and down the outside of your clothes. So just be, we're going to try to be patient with ourselves and the people around us. And I find too with the dogs, especially the seniors, during that time, it seems to affect them a little bit more than younger minds are more elastic. Whereas I find my seniors, and I've got quite a few of them that are 15 plus, actually the end of July, 2 of them will have turned 16. I'll be about to feed them, something they've done for 16 years in that particular location, which is their cage. Everybody has their own little suite to eat in, so they're not bothered by anybody. And they'll stand there wanting their food, but, their mouth is hanging open. They have no idea what I want. They've done it for 15 years, but they have no idea. And so when you're doing 15 of them, your patience can get a little thin. Come on, get in and just turn around. You know what turn around means? It means face your head in the other direction. So just be prepared for that. And if you have senior animals or senior people around you, know that they may not jump on board quite as easily as some of the rest of us will. And then I'm going to be happy to see that particular retrograde leaving us in the dust. What it was supposed to do is kick up dust, which it did, on some of our memories, some of our ways that we dealt with things, thinking of things that maybe we hadn't thought of in a long time. Some of us got to meet people we hadn't seen in a bit, just go through some things in our lives that just needed to be, think of a garden, overturn. We're just turning it over so we can look at what's underneath. And then Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, that's in Virgo. That's not the greatest sign for romance, but it is a great energy field to organize things, to maybe organize some things about ourselves that maybe are bothering us, that we're not aware or we haven't spent any time thinking about, and maybe we need to. Some maybe minor irritation that we don't know why do I feel antsy? So I'm just going to give you a stupid example. I have got to renew my firearms license, and anything online bothers me because I know that I will get to maybe the last box, have it all done, and it evaporates, or the power blips, or it says that's the wrong answer and I've got nobody to talk to. But once it's behind you, getting your passport renewed, getting your cards, understanding all the expiry dates, passwords, whatever, it feels good to have that all completed, but the irritation sometimes will make us put it off. So then the 3-month lead time becomes a 2-month lead time, become a 1 month, becomes an emergency. So Virgo is supposed to be there to stop us letting things get to an emergency and get ahead of them, or at least even neck and neck like a horse race. And then Mars, the planet of our drive, is still in Gemini, so it's a really good time to communicate, talk with each other, enjoy some conversations, maybe with a glass of nice, like I have right now, a nice cold glass of chai tea. I make hot tea in the morning and I put it in the fridge, and in the afternoon I have iced tea in the fridge or iced coffee, which is nice to look forward to. So that Gemini energy can get you to offer that coffee or that chai tea to a neighbor or a friend, and just have a little bit of a communication episode here, just to talk things out, or to be able to talk with somebody or listen to them, and then a nice conversational give and take. And just beware with the Gemini energy that you're not doing most of the talking, and that you do give time to the other to share in the communication. Now, as far as body vulnerability, kidney, bladder may be at the top of the list for the first of the week. So you watch your dogs. You know, if you have a pack of dogs like I do, and they start smelling a particular dog in the rear end, then I would be looking there and saying, are we cooking a little bit of an infection or vaginitis or something? So you just pay a little bit more attention. In this heat, talking to the veterinarian last week, in this heat he's seeing a lot of fly strike. And for you lay people, what fly strike is it's maggots. And they just get in the skin. Might be a wound that you didn't see in a long-haired dog, or a scrape. Bacteria gets in there, and then maggots are there, and it can happen in 8 hours. Could happen while you're at work and you come home. So I know it's gross, but it's not unusual when the heat gets like this, and it's this time of the year. So watch your animals and yourselves for any skin breaks. Sometimes we don't notice it, and that heat just makes it happen real fast. So keep an eye on that, especially with the bladder and the kidney predisposition to issues. And then towards the end of the week, we're looking at liver having to struggle a little bit. So, eat the foods that make yourself friendly with the liver. As far as joints goes, it may be around the belt of your pelvis area, the top of the hip, your thigh. During these transitional times, retrograde, turning to direct, turning into different zodiac signs, sometimes this is when accidents happen. Our stability isn't as good, so hang on to the railings when you're going down the stairs. Watch that your back foot doesn't trip over your front foot, and just keep an eye that your brain and your body are keeping up, so that we don't have accidents, because this is a higher than likely time for accidents and doing things that maybe our body is faster than our mind or our reflexes. Just kind of keep an eye on that. There are quite a few cards that I pulled as far as soul goes. So a lot of the situations that we are going to be going through this week have a lot to do with soul type energy, which means it's big. The lessons in there are fairly big. So what we need to look at is how does that apply to us individually, or being aware of other people going through their own lessons and being generous with that. We might have, skated through, but maybe somebody else didn't, and we have to be generous with our patience there. So for some people right now, plans that we made or thought we were making or hoped to make for our little short-term future are not going to be working out the way we had planned. Now, what the universe is hoping for us is that we have the faith and the trust in the universe that it will work out the way it's supposed to. Not necessarily the way we thought it would be working out, but the way it was supposed to. So this is where we need to be fluid. And we might start doubting ourselves and doubting our own commitment and start to lose a little enthusiasm for that project. I find the heat does that sometimes. It just drains some of the get-go that we've got. I watch the animals, and they're not as rambunctious and willing to chase the fly a big distance, the little short skirmish there. Some of us may have received or about to receive some news that we weren't prepared for, especially when the soul energy is like that. and looking at more of an outcome that's more unfortunate than we were prepared for. Maybe negotiations not going the way we thought that they would. So we may feel a little disillusioned in that because they're just not working out the way we hoped for. And then going back to maybe the universe has a different plan, and are we being flexible in that ability to trust that I wouldn't be standing here if I wasn't supposed to be. I wouldn't be on this street corner if I wasn't supposed to be. Everything is as it should be, and that's hard. It's nice to do when everything's going good, but when it's not going good, we're in the middle of the hurricane, sometimes that's a harder energy to support. They're going to push us in certain areas, and when we take that Leo energy that's coming, think of the lion and pride, so we may have situations point out to us about excessive pride in certain areas, or how are we using that pride that may cause difficulties. We need to take pride in the things that we do. We don't have to brag like some orange idiot that I'm thinking about, but bragging is just disgusting as far as I'm concerned. It just really it's a turn off. But being able to take pride in something, to do a good job and feel good about it. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. And if somebody compliments you, see if you can soak that up. And that's what's supposed to happen in the next little bit. So with this energy, remember it's soul. We're going to be given some information about these situations individually, but we may not completely understand what it's all about until it gets there, or until after, and then the pieces fall into place, and then we kind of have an idea of, oh, right, got it. I wish it would have been a little bit more clear in the beginning. And we're going to be pushed into energy fields that will exacerbate good unions, good sharing, good trust, good when I say duality, I guess I'm meaning two things right there. Partnerships, yes, but duality, two opposite things can be one at certain times. So it's a dual purpose, maybe a tool that's a dual purpose, or an event that's a dual purpose, or a situation that's a dual purpose. We are supposed to be pushed towards short trips, enjoyable trips, that would be something that would be pleasant, and not to make them unpleasant by over preparing for things. We are supposed to be looking at our health with this particular energy field, and healing, and maybe some meetings with people that are very pleasant, people that we haven't seen coming back through that retrograde in a while, or people that we just enjoy. And so if we're in a relationship, might be a little bit more romance if we choose, a little bit more attraction. We got to be careful of that if we're already committed, and some adjustments in that area. So partnerships, new relationships, choices, major decisions, important decisions, but not necessarily having all the information to feel that we are capable of making a major decision without all this. I like to make a decision if I have information. I do not like making seat of the pants, I guess, kind of things. But that's been thrown at us a lot in the last little bit. So we're just going to have to get through that. And the last one that I wanted to bring to your attention is it's the tower, actually. And the tower in the tarot can be very, very difficult energy field. It's a good shake-up. It's like living through an earthquake. But the good thing is it's in reverse to the natural position that it normally has. So this is a shock. Some of us may have a shock or a trauma, but they're saying that the trauma is over, and change that has happened or was about to happen are starting to culminate in offering us a different approach to things, or a different path, and we have to recognize that things will never be the same. So this is going to be for all of us individually. When you think of it globally, what we're looking at is our rupture, so to speak, borrowing Carney's words, with the United States, I don't think in our lifetime for sure we'll ever go back to the way it was. Trust has been broken, faith has been broken. We've found new ways to deal with things. So and we're not going to break alliances with new partners that helped us through difficult times. That would be very bad on our part to do something like that. That's using people. So that rupture will make us look at different tools and different ways of doing things. Well, we're going to feel a lot of this personally. So many things in our lives, some of the situations that we're going through and have gone through in the last just short period of time, will never be the same. And we are supposed to look at, how do I pick up the pieces? How do I make the best of this? Now, if we get into the negative side of this particular energy, it can be self-imposed captivity where we just get stuck, and that's our doing. That's not the universe doing that to us. It can be where we are continuing in our own oppression, our own cage, looking at circumstances as unalterable, but nothing is unalterable. If we look hard enough or think hard enough, there's always a way around it. Maybe long term and maybe a tremendous amount of work, but things can change. Just want you to know that if you happen to hear that burp, that was my dog in my lap. That was not me. Just saying. That's all. So picking up the pieces, starting new, working through things in a positive way, and not get stuck in the bondage that the negative side of this could offer us. So they're just saying, look at the positive aspects, see how you can make it work for you. Was it shocking? Absolutely. Was it disruptive? Absolutely. Is it coming to an end? Yes, it is. And then we look around and say, okay, how do I start with this new? How do I clean up this little mess here? So kids, that's what we have in the next little bit for us to go through. Look, remember the animals that are around you, maybe the people that are around you that are going through a lot of the same things that we are going through, and use that patience for yourself, and turn that patience onto yourself and onto your animals, your friends, the globe, and see where can I maybe not add a burden to somebody and lift it for myself and for other people. Find out what makes you feel human. Again, everybody's different. Some people like to go for a swim. Some people like a bath. Where is your place that helps you become human again? On that note, I would like to thank you profoundly for taking your time on these hot days to listen to this and support that. I do appreciate it. And speaking of support, Charlie O'Brien, I thank you so much for putting this on all the platforms, Charlie, and doing this out of the goodness of his heart. And if you want to do something nice for yourselves, just tune in to his big, the number 8 radio.com, and stream the 60s, the 50s, the 70s. Who can be in a bad mood when you're listening to that? Thanks for putting that up too, Charlie. That takes some time on his part as well. So thanks to all of you. Have a great week. Accept those lessons with the charity that they're given to you and the challenge that they're given to you. And I know that we'll all be better on the other side of it. If you would like a reading for yourself, phone or in person, feel free to text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. And good week to everybody. Have fun, and if you need help with your animals, don't be shy. Just give me a shout, and I'll do whatever I can. Alrighty, love you all. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.